or a very big farm? Is it one of the things that you would like to do in the near future?
Yeah, it's definitely one of my goals in the future.
Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Gwanda Nyazeka. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for coming. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming. It's much appreciated. We are now approaching 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much guys for showing me love. So today I'm not alone. I'm with Lesego Nzuza, but I'm going to let him introduce himself when we are in our conversation. So today we are going to be in conversation with him. He's going to be telling us about what he is doing. So just a background about him. He's a student. He's also an agripreneur. I'm sure you're asking yourself, what is an agripreneur? An agripreneur is an entrepreneur, but focusing in agricultural space. So he's going to tell us about his business and what he does. Okay guys, like I said, today I'm not alone. I'm with Lesego Nzuza. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Lesego. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, it's such a great pleasure to be here.
So tell us about yourself. Who is Lesego Nzuza? Where do you come from? What do you do? Tell us about your business also.
Okay, so hi guys. Lesego. I'm 21 years of age. I'm from Johannesburg, Soweto. I'm a student at wits studying Bachelor's of Arts, a rower too, and an agripreneur. I sell trays of eggs for 50 rands around Braamfontein and Parktown. My target market basically for now is students, because of I want to try and reduce the hunger that's around that's surrounding students and students accommodations. So yeah.
Wow, that's great. It's an interesting business idea, because for the number of years since I've been around Johannesburg, I've never met a student who's saying I'm doing business and I'm selling eggs. And you would understand that eggs, it's one of the easiest food that you can cook, especially for students. You know, eggs, they go hand in hand with your noodles and your orals and fish, you know. So that's an interesting, thank you. And then I'm going to ask you, how did you start? How did the idea of selling eggs come into your mind? Like, and in you starting, did you like register a business? Did you draw up a business plan? Or did you do a market research? Or you just started?
Okay, so it's so interesting how I started. So back then, in 2019, when I was doing my first year, came to register at South Point and for my accommodation. And the lady that was helping me there, because I didn't know anything, so I was missing certain documents and stuff, and she was so kind, and I offered her to buy her a cold drink after she helped me, and she was like, nah, take this money, you're gonna need it in future because students are dying of hunger in resident. I was like, okay. So that thing stayed in my mind.
Yes.
Until I experienced that night when I had no food. So it kept on being on my mind, and
yes,
I thought of doing something about it, but I didn't know what to do. And back at home, we used to sell eggs, and I was like, remember sitting with my grandma and my uncle. I was like, okay, so go. I'm thinking of doing this thing. So how do I go about? And that was in 2019.
Okay.
And 2019, the year ended. I didn't do anything because of laziness. But what are people going to say? Me selling eggs? No, didn't
Yes.
want to be that kind of a person. 2020, I was like, yeah, now it's time. I'm doing my business. Still, I didn't have any business plan.
Yes.
I knew where to stock my eggs. I was okay. And then COVID happened. And then this year, I was like, it's a do or die.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was that moment. And then I decided to start, without a business plan, stock the first box of my eggs, and they sold within a couple of hours.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. It means that our students or people around Braamfontein, they really support young entrepreneurs. You mentioned something which is very interesting. You're saying that before you could start, you were thinking what people are going to say. And it's actually reminding me of when I was selling chocolates at Dress, because I used to sell chocolates at Dress. And also before I started, I was thinking that what people are going to say. Imagine a student selling. and then I decided to start. And you know that when you're starting a business, not everyone is going to receive your business idea well. You know, there are those people that are going to talk and say negative stuff. Because I even remember there is some guy who in our race, he decided to go to our house WhatsApp group chat, and then he changed the name of the WhatsApp group chat and say we sell chocolates, because I had actually posted my poster on the WhatsApp group chat. So the guy was basically just trying to make fun of what I was doing, not understanding Guti. I was actually onto big things, you know, because that actually helped me to do things, you know, and to basically grow myself. Because another thing that I think some people, it makes them to sell, you know, it's that thing of you don't want to always ask your parents to buy you things like, can you please give me money to buy sunlight, you know, all of that. So it helps you to always have in mind. So do you have any background of yourself being involved in entrepreneurship, or did you grow around people who are entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I think I grew up in a space of entrepreneurs. Hence, I've said before, my mom was selling eggs, so she was working. She had a full-time job. She was employed. So after school, when I came back, there's like boxes of eggs in my house. You have to clean them out, pack them, and then have to distribute them in my community.
Yes.
And yeah, that was our second income.
Okay.
Apart from her income from her work. So I grew up into that space. I've seen my sisters doing things. She would design t-shirts and sell them. I grew up around entrepreneurs.
Okay, that's interesting.
So, yeah.
That's interesting. And it also invites us to think about the idea of work. Because, you know, some other people, when they think about work, like working 9 to 5, they have this idea that you are going to be at work the whole day, and you are limited to thinking about where you can't do anything apart from your work that you're doing, and you can't even have your side hustle, you know.
True.
And Lesego is mentioning that umama wake, after work, she would sell eggs, which is an interesting thing, you know, because we know that the money that people are getting paid at work is not enough, so you always need to have like another source of income. You know?
That was great, because it basically schooled me, and yeah.
You know, that's very interesting. That's very interesting, you know. And it also reminds me of something that was said by Nicolette, saying that we really need to rethink work, you know. If it means that even though you are a doctor, you need to be a waiter at night, and you need to do it, you have to do it. And as for me, it's something that I would do, you know, to have that extra income. I would not say, no, I'm a doctor, I can't be in overalls, or I can't be a waiter at night, because you really need that extra source of income, you know. And it is said that in order for you to say that you are financially free, you need to have at least 7 sources of income, right?
I think that's true, and that's basically my life.
That's great. That's
I'm a
great.
rowing assistant for Soweto Rowing Club. If I'm not selling things, I work.
Yes.
So yeah,
That's
always
great.
have multiple sources of income.
Yes,
and then
yes.
keep me going.
That's great. That's
So,
great. That's
consider
interesting.
that.
Yes. Please do consider it. If you are saying no, you have one source of income, please.
It's wrong.
It's very wrong. It's very
You
wrong.
become what do they call these people? Wage slave, or a wage
Yes,
slave.
they call them
dependent on your one source of income. And
income.
when that shuts down,
You're left with nothing. How did people receive your idea? Did you get like support from your, especially from your close friends? I know that family is very supportive in some cases. So I'm going to ask this question in relation to your friends. Did they support you? I know our peers, sometimes when you do something, they won't understand why you're doing it. And you know, the young people, they like supporting the ideas that are already established. They don't want to support something new that is just had started, you know. And what is interesting is that when you make it big and you start making a lot of money, they start associating themselves with your brand, with your idea, as if they were always there for you. So how was it for you? Did people post your posters, people that are close to you? Like, tell us about that.
For me, I don't think I didn't take it like that. because I did not even tell my friends. I was like, I remember going to my friend's room. I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm starting a business.
Yes.
That's how it went about. Created my Instagram account because I knew that's where my target market is.
Yes.
So I targeted wits and UG students who are currently in Braamfontein and Parktown. So I created my Instagram, started posting, and I received so much love, guys. And yeah, I'm overwhelmed by the love that I've got from you, and thank you, guys.
That's great. That's great. It makes me glad. I'm actually smiling to hear that there's some actually good friends that are going to support someone who's starting something for himself. So I'm giving you a chance now to just shout out to one person, just one person who you can say that this person supported me from day one, and
Wow.
this person is consistent in supporting my hustle.
Oh, there are a lot.
There are a lot. Okay.
It's so hard. I don't know how to pick up, but shout out to my grandma and my uncle, my friend from Resident Gileprile, Fadan. Yeah, thank you, guys.
That's great. That's great. So if the question was asked to me, I was going to mention my cousin. My cousin is Yandisa Nyazeka. So my cousin, ever since I started my business in 2019, she's supporting me in everything that I do. She's that one person who I know that she's going to post about my thing, and she's not the one who's going to say that maybe what he's doing doesn't align to my brand. She's always supporting me. Like the support that she's giving me is consistent, and I know that. Wow, let me end there.
So how do you view support, right? When you say she's constantly reposting your work and stuff like that, so do you consider that as support?
I do consider that support because a number of clients that I got for my business since 2019, I still have them even now. They are from her contact list or from her WhatsApp or from her circle of friends.
Because for me, my friends, they're not in Braamfontein.
Yes.
So it becomes, I had one who reposted my thing and someone was like, can you please deliver it to Florida? I was like, no, I cannot.
Yes.
It's
okay.
not. So for me, they've always like that one phone call.
Yes.
How's the business going?
Okay.
And I think that's support for me.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And another thing that I think we can mention is that your business, it's location specific.
Yeah.
So if you have a friend who's in Cape Town, they cannot support you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's difficult, but I really appreciate the support that I have from wits students in particular. They've always reposted my work. Whenever I'm working, I feel like I'm famous, guys. So
yes.
Whenever I'm working Braamfontein, like, hi Eggboy, do you have eggs? Hi Eggboy. I really love the support, guys, and it's highly appreciated.
Okay, that's great to hear. How can you say to someone who's saying that I can't start because I don't have capital? We often hear this thing that someone is going to say, no, I can't start because I need capital, I need funding, I need to go this department to get 100,000. What can you say to someone who's not starting because they say that I do not have capital? Or maybe with yourself, did you have capital? Did you have 100,000 for you to start your business? Tell us that.
No, it's funny. I had no money when I started my business.
Yes.
I called a friend. I was like, hey, dude, can you please borrow me this much? You'll get it by the end of this week. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yes.
Saying I would get it by the end of this week. And then I got the money and went to stock, and that's how I started through my friend. And I've paid that money, and that's okay.
Okay. That's great. So it also invites you to say, you can't say that you can't start because you don't have capital.
True. I think you have to start small and dream big. That's what I do, and write down your plans and goals, because that's the thing that kept my business for so long. I plan, and I go back to my planning board and be like, okay, this is what I've achieved, and this is where I want to see myself going to in future.
Okay.
So start small and dream big. The sky's the limit. That's
great. You actually responding to one of the questions that I was going to ask you, that what do you think, what can you say about the saying that you need to start small? I always emphasize it to people who are asking advice from me that you just need to start small. You don't need to start big, because if you're going to say that you need 100,000 to start your business, and you haven't started anything, no one is going to take you serious. You can just give you 100,000 for you to go and experiment with it.
Yeah.
What if you fail? You know, how are you going to repay that money if it's a loan?
Apart from failing, I think start with what you have.
Yes,
Not just start
yes.
with small. I think people they feel undermined when you say start small, and because of you have bigger dreams.
Yes.
Start with whatever that you have,
Yes.
and then move further. Because if I even had like 100 rands, for sure I was gonna start my business.
Yes.
I was gonna stock those 2-3 trays, sell, then make profit, take that profit, increase my stock level, and then that's how it go. Start with what you have and dream big. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So now we've moved from starting small, because I know a number of people, especially youth, they don't want to start small.
Yeah, you don't.
No, they don't want to start small. So we are moving from saying start small. We're saying start with what you have. Start with what you have. Use what you have wherever you are, and you will see wonders. Can anyone be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, they can be. You just won't be on my level or your level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
By my mom selling eggs, it was good.
Yes.
And me selling eggs now, it's good for me.
Yes.
It's what I can manage. It's my level of being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And I want to grow it big and big and big. And you can, you basically start with what you have.
Okay.
And you can be an entrepreneur. Whether it's selling sweets, as you did.
Yes.
It's where you started.
Yes.
And that's your entrepreneurial journey started. So yeah.
Okay.
Everyone can be an entrepreneur, guys.
Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. And it makes me think of I often see people that when you're talking about entrepreneurship, they only think about owning businesses. And also there are some people, and this is going to sound unrealistic, but there are some people who say that I don't want to own a business, I don't want to be rich, I don't want to have imali eninzi, I just want to live this life ila phansi, you know. There's some people who are like that. So what I'm actually thinking about is that entrepreneurship is not just about you having a business. It's also about how you think, you know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of thinking behind selling things.
Yes.
Behind the entrepreneurial things, because of you learn certain skills.
That's true.
I'm introverted.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was shy to be around people. I couldn't even say so much words. But as I've started selling things, I'm now getting out of my comfort zone.
Yes.
And
yes.
establishing myself and be like, okay, so here are your capabilities.
Yes.
And this is how you improve yourself as a human being. And that's what you learn through being an entrepreneur. It's a lot. It's more than a transaction of selling things, no.
That's great to hear, and it's actually true what you're saying. It makes me remember the first time I was selling. That was back in high school. I used to sell in high school. People who were in high school with me, they know that I used to sell chips and stuff. And there were so many ways I was doing that. So there's when you're going to approach people are not going to receive you the same way.
True.
You know, there are some people that are going to receive you in a negative way, and they're going to make you feel it. You know,
Yeah.
but at the same time, there's going to be people that are going to receive you well, and then what I'm doing is actually a good thing. You are motivated, you are encouraged. You know.
True, because what you're saying is definitely true. I have customers who told me like, Lesego, why don't you post posters around residents? I was like, okay, it's something I did not think of. And then there are people you would go there. People are different, man. You go there, I'm selling eggs, and they become rude. I just take it as in like it's one of those. No
Yes.
one's gonna be happy. Not everyone's gonna be angry. So I just be like, I move.
Yes, that's actually a good thing to do as well, because you know, a number of people, when they sell, they always have this idea that people are going to buy from you. You always have this I don't know if I can say it's an entitlement, and you are not going to receive it well when people are being negative to what you're doing, you know, which I think it's not a good thing for entrepreneurship. You need to be an entrepreneur who's able to receive both bad and good treatment,
True.
And you also need to understand that if you are going to approach someone and say that this is what I'm selling, you shouldn't expect that the person is going to buy now, Like I said on the video that I shot a while ago, that some other people, they want to get to know you before they can consider buying,
Yeah.
They won't just buy,
Just find out who
you
are
know?
you. Yeah. I think that's where you have to start, because I'm a small trader, guys. I have a close relationship with my customers.
Yes.
And that's how I know it. There are people who will be like, hi, I actually like what you're doing, but I don't want to order eggs now.
Okay.
It's like, okay, cool.
Yes.
But we'll keep in contact.
Yes.
Fine. I
Yes.
think, people are not easy.
Yes, that's true. And it also goes with need. You can't expect your friends to support you and buy your eggs, even if they don't. Maybe they are staying in a residence, like your vet's residence, where they cook for them.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do with their eggs?
You see, it's one of those.
Yes.
So, yeah. I
Okay.
have them who be like, I live at DH, but I like what you're doing.
Yes.
Just
yes.
on a random day, you wake up in the morning, you check my Instagram, you're like, hi Lisa, how you good? I like your business, man. It's so inspirational. I stated, what is this thing? Sunnyside.
Yes, Sunnyside.
I can't support, but I can share and do certain things, and that's love that I receive from my customers.
That's great. That's great. Do you read? Do you have one book which you can say this book changed my life, or it motivated me to start?
No, guys. I don't read too much books, but I listen to podcasts.
Okay.
I listen to interviews, and hearing people's success stories and how they got there. It's really inspirational to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I thought you were going to talk about the book that I saw on your Instagram, which is how to manage your money like a fucking grown up.
I think that one it's a great book. I've learned so many things, and I've quoted so many quotes from that book. The first, it's pay yourself first.
Yes.
When you have your money, you get your salary, just pay yourself.
Yes.
Whatever thing that you wanted to do it before you pay your rent, before you pay anything, because those are the things that you're gonna pay.
Yes, that's true.
That's where people are failing to be like, I'm earning a little money, I can't even take myself to a holiday.
Yes.
While you can. If you pay yourself first, pay your rent, pay your everything. Those are things that you have to pay them at the end of the day.
Yes, that's true.
So yeah.
That's true.
Use your money to make yourself happy.
Yes, and it makes sense that you really need to pay yourself first. I mean, who's working for that money?
It's me.
It's yourself. So why now can't you take yourself out and travel and
do what makes you happy with your money? That's paying yourself.
That's great.
Because
That's
no
great.
one is waking up in the 4 a.m.s for nothing, guys.
Just to pay rent and buy food. What else? Residence there. Where do you see yourself in the next few years? I know you are in agricultural space because you are selling eggs, which is agricultural produce. Do you maybe want to see yourself one day owning a poultry farm or a very big farm? Is it one of the things that you would like to do in the near future?
Yeah, it's definitely one of my goals in future, because I grew up in Johannesburg. I'm a city boy.
Yes.
I really love the farm life. I think I've missed up on that part. If I had a family on the other side, I would have been that side instead of this side. So I do see myself owning a poultry farm. It's something that I'm working towards too, and going to the saying that start with what you have.
Yes.
In one of my houses in Soweto, I've already spoken to my uncle, and we're planning on building a chicken house.
Chicken house.
Yeah.
Okay.
To start with it, and then I would see where it takes me.
Okay, that's a great idea, and that's a great way of starting. You're basically starting with what you have, and you are basically going to learn a number of things as you move. Because for example, when we were about to enter in the agricultural space with my friends, another friend of mine asked us to think about the rules that say that you can't have more than 100 chicks or chickens in the residential space. And then I was like, what? I never knew about this thing.
Yeah, it's something that I think that's where I play a lot on the internet.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, now I have to register my business. After registering my business, they tell you that you cannot have more than 50 chickens. So I'm planning on getting the permit, and it's a procedure, guys. It's not
Okay. That's great, but I'm sure you're going to get it. I mean, you have starting is one of the hardest things, you know. I always say that there are a number of things that make people to not start, but by you starting, everything it becomes easier, and you learn everything as you move, you know.
True.
And that's why I always tell to people that if you want to start something, don't go around asking for opinions, or don't go around trying to get information, because some of that information is going to prevent you from starting.
Yeah, I think people dwell too much in negativity.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fine to be like, oh, what are you thinking? I'm thinking of selling eggs, right?
Yes.
And you'll be like, I know it's never gonna work. Like, why?
You know,
they won't even give you a reason.
That's
so don't lean too much on negativity.
Yes.
Certain people will be like, I'm thinking of selling eggs, and be like, yeah, that's great, because we definitely need them.
Yes.
And when are you starting? So focus more on the positive side and leave negativity. Take negativity to, what is this thing? As an encouragement to be like, okay, yeah, there's that, but how do I make it my strength?
Yes, that's true. And it also speaks to what is always said about your associations. You should never be around people who are going to say, if you want to start something, and are going to say, no, don't start, cut those people. You don't need those people in your life, you know. In our lives, we need people who are going to, we need friends who are going to, when you tell him that I want to sell eggs, the friend is going to say, no, Tommy, add chickens, add meat, you know.
Yeah, it's true. I think, make sure that you have the people that you are surround yourself with, they are aligned with what you want to see yourself in the future. So
Okay, that's great. And what can you say about starting a business alone? I hear that you're planning to I don't know if I heard you correctly. You're saying that you and your uncle. So I would like to think maybe you are going to be partnering with your uncle. Do you think that if you are doing business with someone, does it make it easy as opposed to when you are doing it alone?
Okay, it's two ways.
Yes.
It makes it easy. It makes it hard.
Yes.
So you have to find people who see the same direction where you want to see the business going.
Yes.
So I'm starting a business with him, and I think he's the perfect guy because he sees through what I want to create.
Yes.
And he's always been there from day one, so he kind of understands where the business is from and where he wants to go. Yeah. Okay. So it's not someone be like, now we've reached 100,000. You can go get yourself a car.
Okay. Okay, that's great. That's great actually, and it speaks to when he says that he understands woman work. It basically speaks to what is always said again and again. If you want to go in business with someone else, you need to make sure that you understand that person. Don't just go to business with someone who doesn't understand how business works, you know, because some other people, they will start business today and expect to have made 100,000 tomorrow, and if that doesn't happen, they won't understand that business is something that it goes with time. You know, the more you stay in business, the more you don't give up. It's when you can say, okay, fine, I'm actually in business, because when you are in business, you're going to fail a number of times, you know, and it's at that point that you need to make sure that you just stay in business, you know. That's one thing that you need to do. So can you say something? Have you ever failed in your business since you started, or have you ever seen maybe your uncle or your mom failing in business, and how was the approach there?
There's always obstacles. I don't take them as failure.
Yes.
Failure is total. When you fail at something, I think you give up.
Yes, that's great.
Failure.
Okay.
But for me, I've always had obstacles. Balancing academics and business, guys, sometimes it gets too much. Yes. And I have to find a way.
Okay.
Yeah. I think by making a way, it's been like, okay, I reached that thing, and then now moving forward. Okay. So that's great. And that's great because you mentioned something that I was going to ask. How do you balance business and studies? At first, I was like, I'm selling eggs. And remember, when the market is increasing, people are constantly doing you like, I want eggs today, I want eggs tomorrow. And I was like, okay, cool. This thing is starting to affect my academic life. Yes. And then I was like, okay, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm delivering eggs.
Okay.
And from 1 to 4. So that's the time. So when you order late, you have your eggs Wednesday.
Okay.
That's how I do it.
Okay, that's great. That's great. I also get a number of questions from people who are going to ask you, well, how do you do it? How do you divide yourself? How do you divide your time between studies and academics? And I always tell them that, to be honest with you, it's not easy. It's challenging, but it's something that you can do. You know, if you are a student and you are thinking of starting a business or that side hustle, it's something that you can do, but you need to be aware that it's going to be challenging. You know, sometimes I say that sometimes I would wake up not knowing whether I'm in business or I'm a student, you know, and sometimes I would even forget about my business books, you know, and then I find myself sometimes even forgetting that there are people who need to pay me, you know, because sometimes you're just going to have so much that you have to deal with.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, the last question that I'm going to ask you, what can you say to a student who's saying, no, I'm a student, I can't be doing business, you know, I need to focus on studies. What can you say to that person?
Okay, first, as a student, you're a student because of you study.
Yes.
You want to graduate in whatever faculty or field that you want to pursue.
Yes.
But don't limit yourself.
Yes.
The world is full of possibilities.
That's true.
True. You started from selling chocolates.
Yes.
Now you're doing certain things that you'd never even imagined.
You know.
So yeah, if you're thinking of it, just do it.
That's true. That's true. And I want to also add in that just start. You know, guys, we always have this problem that we are going to say, no, I will start hustling when I'm working. Where are you going to get time when you're working? Are you going to get enough time to start thinking about business? You know, how are you going to start a business when you are 50? At that age, you have high blood pressure. If your business fails, you are going to collapse. Why don't you start it now? You are still young. You are still healthy. So you just need to start, guys. That's what I did. That's what I did when I first registered my first formal business in 2019. And when I look back today and see the things that I've achieved in that short space of time, some of those things are the things that it takes 20 years for some people to achieve. So guys, I just want to encourage you to start. So that's the end of our video. So if you want to say something, is there anything that you want to say to my viewers?
Oh, okay. Thanks, guys. It's been great being in your small bubble of family. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Please hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any new video. Thank you.
And if you're around Braamfontein, don't forget, Eggboy has eggs.
Eggboy, it's Eggboy on Instagram.
Eggboy Instagram, Eggboy Facebook, but mostly Instagram. So follow me. If you're around Braamfontein, Parktown, I'd make a plan. But if you want your support from all the way from UJ, Auckland Park, guys, find yourself in Braamfontein, I'm here.
And the eggs for now, it's 30 eggs for 50 rands.
Yeah.
Okay, that's subject to change, guys. If maybe you're seeing this video next year, maybe Lesego won't be even around Braamfontein at that time. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much. Thank you.